the ever-loving heck? Jean! Are you kidding me? We were not ready to start yet, Jean. We had things we were going to do. What was that? I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. You just stood there being on fire like it was no big deal. Were you flammable? Is this because you spent the day hiding inside of the dumpster and snuggling up with all of the dirty trash that you love? Jean, what is going on? Like, somebody needs to take care of this. Okay, and now the rain has taken care of this. Oh my goodness, did we call the firefighters? I think we tried to call the firefighters. Like, meanwhile, Fern was like, the fire's out, we gotta run. She was trying to figure out what's going on and like going to safety. I can't believe that. Jean, middle of the night, everybody was sound asleep. You and Fern had just spent hours like watching cartoons together, and I was gonna tell everybody how cute it was and how you were introducing yourself so freaking adorably, and then you go and yeah, you're giving me a headache too, buddy. You're giving me a big headache too. I can't believe that. He's just so ridiculously hilarious. But alright guys, welcome back to our Greene Family Legacy, the Eco Fern season, where we are working with Fern Greene as she begins to make her world, or her way in the world, in Evergreen Harbor, which really does seem like it was made for her, especially because it's full of trash and gives her an excellent excuse to completely ignore the fact that she is due to be at university right now, and instead she has unintentionally, kind of accidentally, run away to a whole new place. So I'm kind of majorly impressed that we managed to catch a sim on fire. He did it in the rain though, and I think that that is just the way that Jean wants to introduce himself to all of you guys. So guys, my friends, this is another one of the recruits that Kelsey has actually added in to the New Way initiative. And he showed up just wandering the streets, digging through the trash because that is his dream. He really loves seeing the kind of treasures that people leave behind in the dump. Because Jean, our friend here, with his adorable little face, everything about him randomized, and I was just like, okay, you're perfect, we have to keep you. But Jean Jewel here, who's always looking for those jewels that other people would call trash, is a really fun sim. I like him a lot. He is a recycled disciple who is a rabid recycler that benefits from recycling and rummaging for bits and pieces, and he doesn't want to go too long without trying to figure out, you know, how he could take the things that other people cast aside and make something nice out of them. In fact, he's off to sort the compostables right now, which is adorable. He's also a slob, so he's not affected by being around dirty surroundings or household items, like getting dirty faster. And he's a Freegan. These Sims reject consumerism and prefer to reduce wasteful spending by any means, like right now. They enjoy finding reused or thrown away goods and foods. In fact, they have the best luck at finding high-quality treasures in dumpsters. They may become tense or uncomfortable if they spend too much time earning or spending simoleons. And I thought that sounded so perfect for our boy Jean. He's also a collector because he might find rare things while he's digging around. And his aspiration... And let's actually shrink the neighborhood. Oh, I can shrink the neighborhood action plan in public image. That helps so much. But his aspiration is actually to be the curator and to collect at least 10 collectibles. So those are his goals in life, and he is quite an interesting fellow because he is extremely kind. He really has quite, you know, the golden heart, and that's really nice because he's from not such a kind family. He's actually from a really strict and somewhat cruel family who really had it out for him. They really didn't see, yeah, Jean, I know, oh, our little Jean. But he's from a pretty strict family who really just didn't understand the value in having one of their sons tinkering with a bunch of trash and trying to build something new out of what they considered to be waste. His family are also very strictly into military affairs. Not like the military is entirely bad, just saying that his particular family is quite cruel and they like to exercise their authority as much as they possibly can over pretty much anybody. And Jean was one of the people that they tried to exercise that authority on, and he just never fit in. With all of his brothers and the rest of his family, he just couldn't quite make it work. So Jean ended up leaving home. Like, he ended up more or less being chased away slash running away. His family is actually very wealthy. He comes from a lot of wealth, but it was just such a cruel place to be. And the thing is, he didn't really have access to that wealth if he didn't dance along the tunes that they were asking him to do. And because he wouldn't join the military, because he was interested in all of these things that didn't have anything to do with status or hierarchy or defending the family's name amongst the rich and famous, well, I mean, on the one hand, you could say he ran away, but on the other hand, he was kind of tossed in the trash by his own parents. And so here we are, the little lost one, Jean, now taken in by Kelsey and the New Way Initiative, who sees value in someone who can take trash and make treasure out of them. And he is a very sweet little guy. Oh my gosh, and he's getting, like, by chatting with her, he's getting, like, so much reputation, which is adorable. But that is our boy Jean, and he was actually going to treat Fern to a trip to the dump in the morning so Fern could see how they dig through the trash and they try to recycle all of the waste that you happen to see everywhere. But then he ended up setting himself on fire, which is just hilarious, ridiculous, adorable. I freaking love the idea that, oh, yay! I actually love that Fern is going up to sleep where I was hoping she would. She's been offered any available bed in the initiative's little house, but she wants to come up and sleep inside of the tent. That is totally her kind of jam. So we're gonna leave her be to sleep inside the tent for the night. And then in the morning, we're actually going to pack up the crew and we're going to head over to the dump because Fern wants to see more about what the New Way Initiative is all about. And one of the things they do is try to gather up that trash and change it into treasure. So I'm going to let everybody get some sleep. Jean definitely needs to go ahead and get a little bit of rest too. We'll have him take a little bit of a shower because that was an interesting time. And then I'm going to have him go back to sleeping in the Murphy bed that he really likes. And we're going to turn off the TV so he can get some sleep and send Liliana back over to bed as well. But yes, just one quick little aside. One of the things I thought was really cute was on their own while I was waiting for the morning to begin. Jean and Fern ended up coming in here and watching cartoons together on the little penguin TV. And I think Fern was so excited to enjoy the first brush of her own adult life and adult freedom by staying up after midnight watching old cartoons. And we're gonna have to see what she thinks and how soon she's gonna call her parents and get back on track before she misses too much more of the start of her university career. But for now, let us leave them to nap. All right, and it is now a very rainy morning, and we've arrived at what is kind of the dump, or at least one of many dump areas, and it appears that we have to wait our turn because there is somebody currently digging through the dumpster. Did he seriously just find some ice cream? Dude, are you really eating that straight out of the dump? I don't know who you are, but I think Jean wants to become good friends with you, sir. This is mystery person eating ice cream out of the dump? What is this? Okay, I think that Jean would be a little bit jealous and need to go introduce himself because that is just way too heckin' much. Let's go ahead and send him over there. But this is what I think is the community lot actually for the harbor area. So I think that today is actually the last day to vote on what happens to this space. There is not a lot here right now. I thought this was like a proper dump. It is not. It is just like an abandoned building with a really cool roof that happens to have some dump items around it. We've actually got a lovely abandoned fridge, as you guys can see right over here. Some very old food, lots and bits and bobs. I wish you could rummage through these, but these are actually just decorations, if you could call them that. But we can actually rummage through this dumpster over here. So we'll go ahead and we'll be rummaging through that in just a second. And there's a recycle machine, recycle from inventory, and we can go through like compost piles and other things that Jean has got in his pockets. And I think Fern might actually have a lot of stuff we can recycle from her inventory, like apparently applesauce and a broken fossil and cardinal feathers. Oh, and a bunch of mushrooms. We should go ahead and see if we can recycle the mushrooms and some of her old wellness treats in there. That would be kind of cool. Also, she has an unidentified fruit object in her pocket. She must have brought that from home, from the family farm. We definitely need to try planting that sometime soon. But this is the little community space right here. As you can see, it's totally empty up top. And then down on the bottom, it's just got an empty room right over here and another empty room here. So just kind of like an abandoned loading building or something like that for the shipments. And I didn't realize it, but this is a community space that we can come over. Ah! There we go. This is a community space we can actually come over and vote on what to do with the different projects. So Kelsey is currently explaining that to Fern and how amazing this is. Fern's still feeling majorly uncomfortable and tense from the fire, but I'm hoping Kelsey will be able to help her relax. She also wants to have a mud fight, which I think is more than slightly hilarious, but don't fight with toxic mud, my dear. She wants to teach responsibility to someone and buy a wash tub. Fern, we already have a wash tub. Also, we can't take your dog on a walk. You live really far from him. She wants to buy a bee box. No, don't take the dog on the walk. Please. You also don't need a washing machine. You can't teach the responsibility trait. Like, how... Oh my gosh. Okay, she's being pretty stubborn on her wants right now. But I'm sure that over here, we'll have Kelsey help her hopefully relax, brighten her day. Let's go ahead and let's... deep conversation about what we can do. And you know what? I think Kelsey has realized that Fern, discuss stressed mood. I think Kelsey has realized that Fern likes fishing. So we're going to have her talk to Fern about fishing, try to help her chill. And meanwhile, Gene's over here introducing himself to fellow trash-eating Omar. Omar, I might give you a new name at some point. Maybe that's just like, you know, his official name, but his family name is something different. But Omar, nice to meet you. Apparently you and Gene would get along really great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to tell a gross joke. Because no doubt it is a joke about the dumpster. And then we're going to dive for deals and see what Gene can find over here in the trash. Because I'm pretty curious about what he can actually dig up from this dump. Oh, that's so cool. Kelsey now knows a new type of fish. Oh, that's awesome. And then chat with Fern. Welcome member to New Way. We already did that. And then Fern actually wants to try sorting out the recyclables if she's here. But while we wait to be able to get to the dump, let's actually try recycling the applesauce that we had in our pocket. I'm sort of curious to see what happens if we do that. And I think she's curious about this machine. What is this thing? And now she's happy to be outside. The rain has finished and she's helping to recycle at this place. Maybe she can help transform this into something amazing for the great outdoors. Interesting. What? Whoa, and Jean's in there getting plumbing upgrades. And what is this? What did we just manage to stack, Fern? You've received your first bits and pieces using the recycler. Hover over the recycler or household funds to see how much you have. Bits and pieces are used to craft items using the fabricator and to fuel water and power utility producing objects. Recycling things found in the dumpster is a good way to get more bits and pieces. That's so cool. So now we actually have like, I guess it's part of our household funds now, so we don't have to worry about it just cluttering up our inventory, which is more than slightly amazing. And then let me actually turn on the headline effects so we can try to see. So we have like 1 bit, 15 pieces maybe? That's really fine. Okay, I'm gonna let Fern actually spend a little bit of time like getting some bits and pieces from maybe these mushrooms. We'll just say she's finding like a bunch of trash around here. And then over here, Jean is super energized from a lucky find. Another Sims trash is a Freegan Sims treasure. That's not a figure of speech. Jean found an awesome item in the dumpster. Take that, retail industry and rampant consumerism. Okay, I'm really feeling like I love Jean. Let's have him dive for deals again. Because this is awesome. Oh, hello, random sim. Mary Greenberg. Oh my gosh, it's actually really fun. You know what? Kelsey would absolutely, like, tackle new people who come by and try to convince them to join her deals. Also, we need to vote on the community space project, so let's check the gossip. Look at our boy go! Ecomaster Knox. He's like, yeah, we're gonna clean up this place. This is a great place just to like have everybody chill for a minute. Now we have like 16 more bits or something like that. That's so fun. Jean found robot salvage parts in the dumpster. This is so cool. I love having Jean just be able to like dive in there. A common ingredient used at robotic stations. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, I think. And we're also gaining some club points by being friendly to everybody. Doing conservation activities, tending gardens, being friendly with everyone, protesting, all happen to be ways that the New Way initiative tries to get things done. But I'm sure Kelsey will have more things that she'll want her club to do soon. Let's see. The dumpster is too full to nap in? That's wonderful! Keep diving for those deals, dude! I just want to see what he ends up doing. My favorite way to boost my influence is by mentoring and giving gifts to others. Building influence has never been so heartwarming. Oh, so that's the gossip that I'm going to assume Mary is telling us, which is really sweet. Let's figure out what community space projects we can do, because it's almost 6 p.m. on the Monday, and we need to vote on something to do here. And we need 10 influence points to vote here? This is much more than we needed for just the normal community thing. So community space. A community garden. Looking for a place to practice growing and cultivating? The community garden is the perfect place for neighbors to plant together. We could turn it into a maker space for arts and crafts, recyclable goods, dabble in activities like candle making, juice fizzing, fabricating, or painting. We could also turn it into a marketplace where people could sell their wares. I feel like we should transform this into a maker space, for sure. Like, let's get some more influence points going. We need to get in here. We need to ask about day. Let's go ahead. Insider story. We can ask this one for juice fizzing tips. Let's go vote. Like, this is super exciting. All right, Fern. Oh, Pine is trying to find Fern. Her phone is still like turned off. We're going to not think about how her dad is trying to like figure out. I haven't heard any updates from like Fern since, you know, ooh, Jean found 5 simoleons. That's pretty cool. But I do think that, here, we'll introduce ourselves, or Mary will probably introduce herself. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like the elders really like to, you know, they like to chat with a friendly face. So we'll get to know her and hopefully gain more influence points. Meanwhile, Jean is searching like a son of a gun for deals. Kelsey has reached charisma level 2. That's so sweet. And Jean found, ain't that a slate sink from the dumpster, but it may be in questionable condition. Check your household inventory. And then, yeah, Jean is a Freegan sim. Freeganism is all about cost-free, waste-free living. So can he just dig in the trash like all day and find stuff? 5 more simoleons. Uh-oh. Is that a cop? Who's trying to come talk to us now? This is free trash? Oh, it's this guy. Hello, sir. Oh, I like your necklace. Oh, I think this guy might possibly work at a coffee bar. That's hilarious. But all right, so Jean, how many influence points do you have? Suddenly, I really want to have a whole bunch of influence points, and I am concerned about our lack thereof. Heckin', where do I find that again? Neighborhood action plans. He's got 44 influence points. We can do this, you guys. All right, and meanwhile, I feel like this girl, Gracie, I think she's somewhat attracted to Jean, perhaps, but, you know, he's kind of digging in the trash. Like, so what are you doing? Yeah, I could see her being like, he's kind of cute, but why is he digging in the trash? All right, let's see. Oh, can we actually convince? Yes. Okay. So let's actually, how many influence points do we have over here now? 6? Convince to support. We could, yes. Okay. I want to see if we can convince her to support the makerspace idea. Because I would love to get the makerspace idea done first. Also, she's really, really bored of the conversation she's having, but Kelsey would power through it because she would absolutely want to like make the most of this. And meanwhile, like, I feel like, you know, Fern's just, she gets along well with, what the heck? He was a vampire! This man was a vampire and he was coming for our Jean. That's a little bit of a twist. Also, is that a Fern lookalike in the background? That is absolutely a Fern lookalike in the background. Fern, why is your twin like here? That is very confusing. Okay, we're just going to acknowledge that a vampire just tried to come after Jean. That's fine. Jean, you're attracting quite a few interesting people. Why don't you come over and vote on the community space project? That's fine. We're gonna say we didn't see that happen. Okay, Jean. No, he is not a treat for you, sir. Oh my word. Alright, so let's go ahead. We're gonna vote on the makerspace. And we're gonna see if we can transform this into a nice makerspace zone. Because I think that would be amazing. Alright. And meanwhile, so he's feeling pretty energized from diving for deals. Can we maybe convince this guy to come and vote for makerspace and just be like, oh hey, are you here for the makerspace too? Oh man, I think everybody ended up like digging through all of the trash that was available too. A very fine dumpster in use. Oh, get away, dude. I want to be able to like use this dumpster. Oh man, he's not gonna support the makerspace idea. Oh, not convincing. Could it have been a bad approach? Or was there food in Jean's teeth? Either way, it didn't go very well. I think this guy wants to open up the marketplace. Alright, back to diving for deals. There we go. Hopefully he'll get out of our way. And we know Kane loves the outdoors. Well, that's nifty. I would very much appreciate if he would just let us dig for trash without any of this nonsense. But let's dig for a bit more trash, at least until 6, and we'll see how the community makerspace idea goes. Level up charisma skill. So, and meanwhile, Kelsey feels like she could have been more influential in the area if only she had higher charisma skill. So sad. Here, we'll try to level up our charisma skill on this poor unsuspecting soul, and we'll go ahead and drag her into this. Jean found another sink, the wash basin in the dumpster, but it may be in questionable condition. Okay, we're gonna have a good time with this. And meanwhile, Jean, oh Jean, you want a journal? We definitely should get Jean a journal. I would love to do that. Alright, wonderful. So now we're just like introducing ourselves to new people. Fern might need to go home pretty soon. Let's ask this woman about a career, like what she does here. We found some recycled materials that we can put to good use. Interesting. So does that show up in his inventory somehow? It does! Recycled trash pile and compost pile cannot be sold or deleted. Good to know. Alright, we're gonna do a couple more digs for trash. He is getting so filthy. This is hilarious. This is actually really hilarious. I kind of more than slightly love this. And we just have a vampire dude who apparently has enough power that he doesn't have to worry about... Here, let's do this one. That he doesn't have to worry about what happens. Oops. Okay. And on. He doesn't have to worry about what happens when the sun comes out. Alright. Oh well, couldn't turn that off. Whatever. Alright, confidence. Support received from successfully convincing a sim to support a neighborhood action. That's awesome! Also, where are you, my dear? Oh, there is food over here? Out of this broken, like, fridge? Where on earth did this even come from? I wouldn't eat that if I were you, Fern, my dear, but I guess you're getting kind of desperate. There's just like a broken fridge here? That is amazing! What the heck? Also, Kelsey's feeling super confident and she wants to start her new career. Maybe she wants to start her new career as... We'll have to actually... You know what? We're going to try that out. We're going to have Kelsey like start her new career as a civic designer because she's feeling like she has hope at being able to change everything here. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's see where... Find a job. So what does the civic designer job look like? Because she's feeling confident from convincing one sim to vote for the project that she's supporting. Jean just found a dirty double in the dumpster, which is a new bed. We can replace one of the beds upstairs. Woo! All right, civic designer. As a civic designer, get involved in planning and designing solutions to all kinds of environmental problems and chat to your fellow Sims about how to make the world a better place to live. You can do civic planner or green technician. Oh, that's so cool. And we can be a junior draftsperson. Oh, she'd have to work a lot, but I think she's ready to take up the challenge. Yay! Oh, this is so cool. Okay, so work assignment, acquire recycled materials. That's so much fun. So we need to get some recycled materials somehow. That's perfect. And I think we should actually put the trash in our inventory and then recycle from our inventory. Oh, and let's try recycling that clothing pile, just cuz. Alright, that's so cool. So I feel like Kelsey is feeling super confident from what she's up to. Jean decided to take a nap, of all things, in his precious dumpster. Jean, that's not the way we're doing it. Back out, buddy. This is so fun. Meanwhile, Fern is feeling just pretty uncomfortable. She really wishes there was somewhere to use the restroom. I wish there was somewhere for you to use the restroom too, my dear. I think it's kind of weird that there's not even like a potty bush. I'm gonna put down a potty bush. Okay. So we're actually going to we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna kind of like sneak in here. Don't mind us. And I'm going to put in the duty calls plant. And we're just kind of gonna sneak it down over here, maybe. I don't want to, and we can get rid of it afterward. But I don't want to. There we go. Because I think Fern would do that. Like, come on, it's a big dump. She's desperate. She's in a new place. She doesn't really understand like how to cope with all of the newness that she keeps finding. Meanwhile, Jean, I think Jean's the guy who like dives for all of the deals and digs in the dumpster most often. You are not going to nap over there, my dear. And saving the world from being good. What a great boost. We need to share those emotional boosts with our girl Fern. And then let's recycle from that trash pile and see if that actually fulfills the acquired recycled materials. Oh, and a humor and hijinks festival. That would be really cute to take Fern to another day. Maybe to help her relax and just see how good the world can be. And to see the bigger city. She's actually not spent a lot of time in San Myshuno, which I imagine is just a short distance away. But if she could get to San Myshuno, she should be able to... What? The gullet... Within the gullet of the metal beast, Jean has found 134 simoleons in the coffers. Oh my gosh. And he is now super happy because he is caked in garbage, which is basically his dream come true. All right, another deal dive, and then I'm going to send our girl Kelsey over to sort out recyclables. And meanwhile, I feel like Fern feels a little bit like the odd one out, so we're gonna have her come over and just brighten day and chat. There we go. With some of the other Sims here. Alright, and Kelsey, you need to come over and keep talking too. Tell insider story, keep those things going. Yay, and Jean found some recycled materials. Alright. And we're gonna go ahead and say that this curious vampire is just more than slightly interested in him. And then let's see if we can... Jean, are you gonna dig one more time? Alright, and it's almost voting time! So I think we're the only ones who voted on this community space. Jean, get out of there! Jean, get out! Come on. Alright, nap and dumpster, sort... Oh, the dumpster's now empty! We have emptied the entire dumpster! Jean! You reek. You absolutely reek, but I think that he is extremely happy about his lot in life, if you ask me, guys. So Jean, totally stinky, totally caked in trash, and honestly, he couldn't be happier. Alright, well, let's see what happens at 6 o'clock. And then we will leave these guys for the day. I'm pretty content with like what they've been up to, and it looks like the Sims will really interact with this space. Alright, is the voting over? Check community space projects. Yeah, you can't vote anymore. Let's check on the project. It's gonna be a makerspace! So the voting is currently closed. Maybe when we come back tomorrow, it will be a makerspace. And what about the neighborhood action plans? Upcycling initiative. Woo! Sharing is caring actually got a lot of oomph there. And so we're going to go ahead and influence to everyone using recyclers to get materials and fabricators to turn those materials into something responsibly wonderful. Yay! All right, well, we're going to explore with that, and we're going to go ahead and explore with what we can do with our lovely, lovely Sims. And maybe have a little bit of a party now that, you know, Kelsey convinced all of one person to go ahead and join her initiative, or her voting at least. She wants to become a civic designer, and maybe if Fern sees what we can fabricate out of the recycled materials, she'll get an even better idea about how maybe she could help to change the world. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was fun, sending all of this lot to the dump and just digging around and making quite the mess. I can't wait to see what we're going to be doing with everything here. If you guys would like to join me on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.